welcome Miss Mary Easaw.
Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you very much for that introduction. It's a pleasure talking to you all. It's also good, you know, when you retire, you seem to be more important than when you did not. So it's really good that people still listen. I want to first thank God Almighty for giving me this wonderful opportunity of being a dietitian, feeding people with spiritual food, and managing many people in my 38 years of experience. I want to thank the Lord Almighty for really giving me the best deal. He has been very faithful to me, although I have not been. And I thank God that today I am blessed and able to work on His ministry among my students in IMU and among my patients in CBS scale. Right. I want to ask you all a question. How many of you here are basically vegetarians? That means you're, okay, Joseph, right. The rest I can't see you all. Okay, you can put your little hands up through this, right? So good. Okay, from Josephine, yeah. So quite a number of you have turned to vegetarian. So I want to share a joke, you know. My mom was born and brought up as a non-vegetarian. So she decided to do a fast during the Lent. You know, we have the Lent season. So she actually I thought she wanted to show us as a role model. But it was so funny. She was so sick. And Good Friday, she had Kerala fish curry because she was already very sick. So from the day I was born and I was brought up, I had a non-veg meal, right? Until I went to India. I became vegetarian for 1 year, not because I had to become, I had no money to buy non-veg. In India, it's very expensive in the universities. And then even if you buy the non-veg, they'll give you very small pieces because India is basically a vegetarian country, right? They've got. It is then that I actually enjoyed vegetarian. But before that, I never enjoyed it. And so there was a process of change in my life to become more plant-based, but less. But I'm not saying that I'm completely, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I can see the profile of patients who make this change, and you see their cholesterol coming down. You know, they have their brain system differently works because of the phytochemicals and all that. But for a non-vegetarian to become a vegetarian, not an easy joke. Huh? This is not easy. And among the people who are really vegetarians are first Indians, followed by Chinese. Malay patients never become vegetarian. When they try, they cry, but they do make efforts, right? So I'm going to share my slides with you all. So Adrian, I can share the slides, right?
Yes, Mary.
Okay.
Okay, just for some technicalities.
Yep.
This session is being recorded.
It's okay.
All right. And for all the participants, you can either leave your video on, but you'll be muted. Okay, Mary, maybe we can let them know how to respond to your questions.
You go ahead and you tell them. I'm okay.
So you can have your questions in the chat box, or when Mary were to pose a question, you may also unmute yourself to answer for interaction, right, Mary? You would like some interaction?
Yes.
Live interaction, okay? All right.
Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Right. So today I'm going to talk to you about basic plant-based food, right? And before I start, do you mind if I start with a word of prayer, right? Thank you, God, for this wonderful time that you have given me to share the knowledge that you have given me and you have taught me throughout my years. And I pray that those who are listening will be blessed and will be able to follow this presentation that I do. And Lord, help them to remember that the body is their temple and it has to be looked after well. In Jesus' name, I declare this. Amen. Right. So today's presentation is basically what is a plant-based diet. Can you hear me? You okay?
Yes, can hear you clearly, Mary. Thank you.
And students on and studies on plant-based diets. What is the benefit of it? And how to cook this to maximize the nutrient, and some practical tips on how to incorporate more vegetables in the diet. So I think what you can see is actually, if you go to any of this website, you can see a lot of books. I think many years ago, you wouldn't see this. You would see cheese recipes, you would see chicken recipes. But now when you go, you really go. So some of the patients or some of the clients tell me how to cook this, love. One, because we don't cook this style. So normally we look at, in the ethnic race in Malaysia, we have Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So we look at Indian style cooking and Chinese style cooking. Of course, there's sometimes a fusion, right? So a plant-based diet is a very simple diet, which actually all the food derived from plant sources: fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, oils, whole grain, legumes, and beans. But that doesn't mean that the person is a vegetarian or a vegan or never eat meat or dairy. Rather, you can proportionately choose more of your food from plant. That's what it means, right? So is a plant-based diet a vegetarian diet? What do you think?
Not necessarily.
Yes, not necessarily. Very good. It's not necessarily a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet, right? And for those of you, just to, I'm sure those of you who are vegetarian, you would know, but I just want to let you know that when I was a young dietitian, I only knew two kinds of vegetarian. One was a lacto-ovo, one was a lacto. But today you have semi-vegetarian, lacto-ovo, pesco-vegetarian. So there are many types of vegetarian now. But actually, if you're a vegetarian, you only eat, most of it is nuts, vegetables, fruits, and dairy products. You're a vegan, then you don't take all this, right? So a lot of people, as we grow to the next generation, people don't like simplicity. They complicate matters. I know that now when I teach my young students, and I said, my God, I was never like this. So things become more complicated and confuse your mind, right? So what are the benefits of plant-based diets? Their studies have shown that it can decrease the risk of many chronic disease, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, blood pressures, lowers your cholesterol, lowers your incidence of strokes, and reduce obesity. Having said so, I do have my things about obesity because it depends on the cooking method and how you prepare your meals and the total calories you put into those plant-based food. Yes, it's lower in calories, so it has a higher satiety value, which means that it makes you feel more full. But even fats give you the satiety value. Is after you eat a meal of biryani or something like this, you feel like you can't move. It's like a python that has swallowed a chicken, right? You feel so like, right? So not only fruits and vegetables, but even fats give you that satiety. And then it improves your health, right? Because it's nutrient dense. But not only the vitamins and minerals, but now they have discovered soluble fiber. They have discovered phytochemicals, functional foods, functional things that come out from certain food, which has been shown to be beneficial. Okay. For cardiovascular diseases, the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet has been really study that shown a lot of benefit. However, in the context of the Asian diet, it is not easy. It is not easy because these foods are mostly based on Mediterranean, or the DASH diet was based on the American diet. The DASH diet is to reduce hypertension, which worked very well. People who are borderline, finally, when they went on this diet, need not take medication. But the cuisines of the Mediterranean seas, they had longer lives, they had low incidence of cardiovascular disease, and mostly their protein was from fish, right? And their oils were olive oils, and of course, they enjoyed wine. So my patients would say, they'll talk about the Mediterranean diet, they'll also talk about the wine. So everything has its cuts and portion, right? So when you take high intake of grains, legumes, it definitely makes a difference in your whole system. When you reduce red meat, especially processed meat by the American Cancer Institute says that you must reduce your processed meat. So that could be your lapchang, that could be your sausages, that could be your all sorts of things that is not natural. And then sugar, refined sugar. So study found that people who adhere to healthy eating patterns had a 14% to 21% to lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, CVD. But the study by American Institute of Cancer Research, AICR, recommends that, they tracked 380 people over the period of 13 years, and they found that people, who followed a plant-based diet had a healthier BMI, body mass index, and a plant-based diet also had a reduced cause of death due to whatever disease. In this case, they were researching in cancer. So fruits and vegetables, 30% reduction risk of dying from cancer for people who are eating 7+ servings of fruits and vegetables. So you might be telling, when we talk to our clients, they will say, what, do you want me to eat the whole orchard and farm? No, it's very simple. I'll show you how it is done. And 10% reduction of people dying from cancer, those who are eating 1 to 2, 3 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. Nuts is also 1 ounce is about your palm, a handful in the palm, reduces the risk of cancer plus cardiovascular disease. So what are the benefits? You look at it, this one you see is a 1,575 high energy. High energy means we have a lot of processed food. We have chips, we have cake, we have spaghetti, we have buns, and we have cola drinks. But the same thing, the same thing, when you convert it to a plant-based, you can have actually a buffet, a banquet, right? Lots of things can fit into 1,575 calories. It's just like, when you have a bungalow versus an apartment. So you may want to know what kind of furniture, what kind of things you put in. So you can't put in so much in an apartment versus a bungalow. So that's the same story here. Now, this is a concise thing to talk about how they have shown that, you can actually stop cancer by limiting the consumption of red and processed meat, eat a diet rich in whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and beans, and limit the consumption of fast food and another processed food, which is high in starch, fats, and sugars. I think I was very blessed. I never liked fast food. I cannot stand fast food. So whenever I go anywhere, all my friends will say, no, you should try it here. The fast food in China is different from the fast food in Malaysia. I said, no, I don't want. I'm not a fan of fast food, but I'm a fan of Indian food because maybe I spent my time studying in India. So I learned all the tricks of the trades with dals, legumes, and of course, to some extent, some meat, right? But over the years, in the plant-based food, studies were done on functional food, the food that provide health benefit beyond basic nutrition. That doesn't mean you go for that food, but it can be a natural food, also coming from fruits and vegetables. And in the market, they have it modified. So they have this this functional food, which is added to the foods like milk, margarines, and other things, and juices. So what are the benefits of this functional food? It lowers your blood lipid level, improves your heart function, and reduce the oxidation of LDL. LDL is the bad cholesterol. And this is very important because all these foods actually reduce inflammation of your arteries. So when you are not well, you feel very swollen, you feel very feverish, there is inflammation in your body, right? So you can see that when you change your diet, there is a significant difference. So the functional food is, one is soya protein. They contain isoflavones, or they call us soya isoflavones. Of course, you have to eat about 25 grams that you will not be able to eat, but it is a part of your diet. 1 glass of soya milk to replace a glass of milk, tofu, tempeh, right? Method of cooking is important. Then you have the soluble fiber from oats, because it contains beta glucan in oats, so it reduces your cholesterol. They actually act as sponge. The previous one that I was talking to you, soya, it's also like behaving like statin drugs, right? So all these things, they take over the role of just making sure that the cholesterol doesn't go into the processes of the liver, so it kind of bypasses it. And so you have oatmeal, you have bran oats, then plant ster oils and stenoils, which are actually in your food, basically milk, juices, oats. There are supplements, but it has to be taken with caution. If you can actually take it from natural foods, it's fine. Okay. Now, there are some things that you may want to know, because when you're taking a plant-based food, there must be some challenges. One of the challenges is the amount of B vitamin, vitamin 12, to keep our body's nerves and blood cells healthy, because it manufactures DNA, which is your process of how your body is made of, right? So most of it actually comes from animal products. So you must be able to get it from other products. So you can actually get it from yogurt, you can actually get it from green leafy vegetables, and so on. You can actually. The other one is iron. You need hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is your blood, and you need myoglobin, which is the muscle cells, because iron is actually the booster. Otherwise, you will feel tired. And for all of you who, young women and who are menstruating, you need to have really enough iron. Otherwise, that is lethargic and tired. So you can actually get it from tempeh, you can get from pumpkin seeds, you can get it from apricots, you can get it from dark chocolate, spinach, cashew nuts. There are a lot of things that you can actually get it from. Okay. If it comes to worse, you speak to your doctor and they may supplement you. Okay. Iron deficiency is very common, right? It's very common in people who follow a very strict diet. So much so in vegan diets. 2 types of iron, heme iron and non-heme iron. Non-heme iron is more difficult, right? More difficult for the body to absorb. That actually comes from the plant-based products, and vitamin C is needed to boost the absorption. So the heme iron actually comes from animal product, and that is actually very easy. So you may want to, when you take fortified cereals for your breakfast or fortified, you may want to add it with a fruit or a juice drink, freshly squeezed, so that it enhances. It is a catalyst. Vitamin C is a catalyst for the absorption of iron from plant-based products, right? And calcium is another thing. If you don't take milk and cheese products, you can actually take it from flaxseed, tofu, tempeh, almonds, juices, raisins, and lady's finger, which is available in our country. So when the doctor gives you a supplement, you take a supplement. All calcium supplements must not be taken suka, okay? After that, you find all your organs being calcified. So please talk to your doctor, and there is a level that you can actually take so that you can actually get a very good structure of your bones, right? And vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually not an issue in Malaysia because you have sun, right? So vitamin D helps to absorb the calcium, blocks the release of a hormone that makes the bone brittle or thin. And so it improves your muscle function and boosts your immune system. So for those of you who want this, you can actually go out in the morning sunlight, but please don't go out at 12 or 1 o'clock because it's really not healthy to have that strong sun rays on your skin. So you can actually do it in the morning before 10, before 9 to 10, and late evening after 5:30, 6. So you can actually use the sun to help the vitamin B to be processed in your bones. So how do you combine these proteins, right? You combine them because complete proteins and incomplete proteins. So complete proteins are those contain all the essential amino acid like lysine and all the others. So normally animal proteins are complete lah. Incomplete is plant-based, but that's okay lah. You can actually work out on the beans, on the tofu, on the lentils, and mix it up with rice or mix it chickpeas. You can have chickpeas salad. If you take cheese, it would actually, you have a combination of these to make sure that you combine the essential amino acids. So let's look at some practical tips how we can do it. So what I did was when I wanted to become more plant-based, I started off my day breakfast with vegetarian. So normally the breakfast would be, I'm a very good cook, so I make dosa, idli. I make upuma, if you know what it is, out of semolina, and of course bread with cheese. And I start the day at least breakfast vegetarian, more plant-based. Then make twice a week plant-based. That means you decide like, okay, Monday and Thursday I'll become plant-based. Okay. Some people do a little bit of cheat, put some ikan bilis or some fried stuff, but that's okay lah. Only God and you know, that's okay, right? And then shop for plant first lah. When you go to the supermarket, look for the plants first, look for the vegetables first, and then go off to the meats or fish section. So plan at least one night a week to try new vegetarian recipe. Okay, when you try vegetarian recipes, you are very accustomed to non-veg, it'll take a little bit for your taste buds to be educated lah, okay? So when I first cooked all this, I put a little bit of ikan bilis or some chopped chicken, very little, just to flavor it, right? But now I don't do it. And this one can be stored. So I store them by the dates and I keep them. And I actually keep my groceries in a freezer. So should there be any issues, I can survive for 1 month. I work in a hospital, and those days the auditors used to ask me, if there's an earthquake or flood, how many days is there supplies to serve your patients and to serve your staff? And that's where I learned you need 3 days before help comes to you. So I did that at home too. So I have a pantry. So should there be anything, I have good supplies to last me for 1 month in terms of legumes, lentils, dals, and they're kind of kept frozen sometimes. Yeah, okay. And then try ethnic flair. Okay, maybe I'm biased lah because I was born and brought up in an Indian home. So I love Indian vegetarian. Chinese vegetarian I like, but I don't like those packet and those in really vacuum pack, because the meat kind of texture is actually from soya and gluten, but it has a lot of preservatives. So you may want to read the labels before you buy all this so-called artificial vegetarian. And here I want to share a funny thing. Before the lockdown, I used to once a week go to a Chinese vegetarian shop. And then this gentleman had actually invited, I think they were from India. And so he sat down and he said, why don't you order? And it was so funny, And I'm very good at drama. In convent, I acted in a lot of dramatic society. And then Indian couples, they said, what dear? This is what duck? This is chicken. You told me it was a vegetarian shop. What dear? We can't eat this. So actually, they didn't understand that in a Chinese shop, they use the word chicken, they use the word fish, and they wouldn't eat. They were not convinced, And then, it tickled me to see, that, how we misinterpret vegetarian diets in our country. Yeah. And you have to keep it simple. Not all the meals is involved in so many cutting boards, cooking. So I make tofu fried rice, paneer. Paneer is Indian cottage cheese. I make masala potato sandwich. I make mint sandwich. And then try some cheese pizza, right? And it is a whole process, okay? So when you are asked just now 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, this is the minimum you have to start with if you are trying to go into a certain kind of plant-based diet. So what does it mean? It means that you need to do some changes. What are the changes? Very simple, right? The changes is 5 servings a day. And then you also have the plate, suku sparo. So you can see the carbohydrates, the beans, and the vegetable. The same thing here, right? It has water, it has fruits and vegetable. But that is a word of caution here, right? The word of caution is, this is a vegetarian diet, but hello, it is very, very high in calories, right? So you need to practice mindful eating. Same thing, your chap fan vegetarian, 6 ringgit, no matter how many you just take. Oh, hello. You can't do that. You need to do the suku sparo. You have to practice this wherever you go. And then you need to be aware of swapping things like, of course, you like teh tarik. I'm not saying it's bad, but you can swap it to teh o. You can also white coffee to black coffee. And then sometimes, if it's plant-based from chicken, you can actually change to tofu or nuts. And remember, don't drink your liquid calories. Yeah, many people forget, they say, no, I don't. I say, what do you have? So when you count, they have teh tarik 169 calories. Then later they have one kopi tarik 177. So they were telling me, oh, this all you calculate. Yeah, this is your liquid calories, right? So you have to be aware. And so how do you cook to maximize? So this is a cartoon I like to share. During my mother's days, when people say they're coming to the house for a meal, this is how our mothers behave. They were so happy. You tell the young generation, now we're coming to your house for a meal. This is how they behave, because they don't know how to cook. They don't know. They have very beautiful kitchens, but it's all demo kitchens, right? My mother had only one book. I remember she just writes with her head. But today, the young people, they have all sorts of Korean, American, whatever you African, everything they will have. And those days, okay, this is a Western kitchen, but my mother's one, she only had a gas stove, and she used to cook everything in that gas stove. And then she had a batu arang, the charcoal one. But today we make the most modern kitchens in the planet Earth. Even the hotels beats it. When you look at some of the kitchens they plan in the houses. Yet our mothers could make a fantastic banquet. And we, with all that, we could only make a microwave pizza. Isn't that funny? It's really truthful, And many of my patients who are young with cardiovascular disease, I said, you're 40. How did you get a bypass? Oh, we eat out. We eat out all the time, right? So how do you maximize it? You can eat a rainbow. So what does it mean, rainbow? Have colorful vegetables, have different colors, enjoy it, make it different. So each of them got immune system, they detoxify, they clean, but keep to different types of vegetables and create a complete protein. Like just now I told you, you have a brown rice or chapati, you add lentils, or you can have a whole grain and nuts, grain and legume and nuts, grain and dairy, and legume and seed. So maximize it, yeah? And maybe you, in order to make things easy, you can actually cook a 1 meal dish, right? You can actually cook a 1 meal dish. This one is a little bit with prawns, but this is vegetarian, and these are, colorful rainbow. Some people put egg. If you don't want, it's fine, right? But cooking method is very important. When you steam, you can see when you microwave and you boil for a long time, you destroy the nutrient. But when you pressure cook, yes, it is lost in the cooking water. But when you steam and quickly stir fry it, the micronutrients is returned. So the method of cooking is also very important. And give your body a tsunami lah. It's very important. Keep it in really. And normally you very simple you go when you do. How do? You look at your urine when you go to urinate. Like if it's clear means good hydration. Pale yellow, good hydration. But if it is bright yellow and amber, hello, we are in trouble. Tea color, please check. Severe dehydration, or there must be something else, right? Bright yellow, sometimes don't get frightened. You may be taking a multivitamin. And if it turns purple, don't be scared. You must have taken a dragon fruit or a beetroot. So don't get upset. Why is my urine this color, right? Now, there are other things. That is that part of the talk. But there are other things that you really need to do. You especially now that we are all online, please don't sit too long, because eventually you'll have weak legs and the glutes at the back, and then you start putting on weight, you will have backache, and then, you have DVT, deep vein thrombosis, which is also a part of it. So you need to also, don't think that you eat a plant-based diet, you're very healthy. There are other things you need to look at. And then try to walk a 10K, 10,000 steps a day. Just walk. Where you can, you just walk, and there are good apps like the Facer and the pedometer. You can actually download it and make sure. You don't have to run a marathon, but you just walk. When you start, you walk 3,000. Do it for a month, then you increase to 6,000. And so over the 6 months, over the 1 year, I've hit now 15,000 steps. So you do it slowly, you do it well, and sustainability is very important. Right? So you can make your choices. Disease is made. You don't catch the disease like the COVID and other disease you get, but diseases are made. You make the choice between the angel and the devil. Decide which one you want and make it, right? So I like what this lady, Anne Wigmore, says. The food you eat can either be the safest or the most powerful form of medication or medicine, or it can be the slowest form of poison. So it depends on what you put into your stomach and how you manage it, right? So the change now will begin with you. After you listen to this, you may want to think how this change will begin. Okay, I think we are buying too much of this chicken and fish and pork. How do we do this? Okay, let's agree with the family. Once a week, we become plant-based person. Okay, think about recipes. Think about this. I mean, something must happen, isn't it? Otherwise, nothing will happen. So far, is this good? You are clear? I made it very simple, right? Can I get an answer?
Yes, Mary. Very interesting, simple, and enjoyable too.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to tell you one change that began with me, which I took my life for granted. So my next slide is going to finish, but it is my testimony. This is what happened to me in 2018. It was a freak accident. I got out of my car when I took my when I put my first leg down and I took out my second leg. It caught into my handbag and I took a turn around. And do you know, I fell flat and I thought I was going to hit my head. And you know, there was a hand that came and held me at the back, and I knew it was the Lord. But I twisted my leg. So I broke my leg, metatarsals. Okay, this was in my rehab. Then after many times, I had to learn to walk with my walker. And of course, they gave me this robot kind of boots, which was such a beneficial thing. And after I learned to walk from here, and then eventually I could walk. Now, what I developed during this period was a change, a metamorphosis of my life. If that didn't happen, I don't think I will be who I am today. And I am grateful to the Lord. When I fell, my friends asked me, why you? I said, no, I didn't ask God that. I asked, what now? What is going to happen, Lord? I know there's a reason why you made me slow down. And this was 1 year before I retired, about 1.5 years, before I retired. Now, what did I learn in this process? So this is how it was, with all those funny kind of screws. And there was many more, right? So, but God was kind. I didn't hit my ankle, it was, it's called Les Franz fracture. And I like what my doctor told me. How did you get it? I said, what do you mean? Only footballers get this. Nobody else gets it. Oh, I said. So it must be the way I twisted it, right? So what did I learn? I need not rush. I was always rushing in my life. And I always used my right brain. Now I have to use my left brain because I need to know where to hold, how to get up, how to sit. Sorry, even in the toilet bowl, I don't want to call people to help me. And something I didn't have, God built the patience to me. Oh, this patience came fantastic. I used to cry in the nights. I used to howl in the nights. Only God and I knew it. Bathing was a necessity, delightful anguish. Oh my goodness, I can't wet my leg, and the healing process hurt. It was so tough when the bones were healing and the stitches were healing. I was also healing spiritually. I learned to forgive the people who I was very, 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 very angry, right? And there was a spiritual revival within me. For the first time in my life, things changed. I could see how the Lord changed. And I was very good. All my friends said, can I bring chicken curry? Can I do this? Can I drive you to the hospital? I said, okay. I was never fussy. Reality checked me constantly. I still have my leg, right? What a blessing. What if I didn't have my leg? Yes, God loves me and He's very faithful to me, even though I have not been faithful to Him.
Not yet, forgot.
Right?
Read the book now.
Sorry. Okay. So I am very grateful and thank you for listening and God bless you.
Very informative and good, Mary. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Mary. Great
Thank
sharing.
you very much.
Mm.
All right. So before we continue, we would like to tell you, after Mary's very, very interesting and relatable session, that the reason we are doing this, no meat, no dairy, what is there? No dairy, no meat, what is there to eat? Is because we are answering the call from our Pope Francis for the season of creation 2021 under the concrete plan Laudato Si, which is a 7-year journey for our communities to be committed in different ways to become totally sustainable, and we are encouraged to cut down on meat, dairy, and food waste. So we would like to encourage, it's not easy to switch to a vegetarian or vegan diet, but we can start with at least 1 day a week, like Mary suggested, and we do it the suku-suku separo method. So in a way, many of us love our meat, and it's not easy for most to switch to a vegan or vegetarian diet, but we can make a start. For me, it's always on Friday. I go vegetarian on Friday, so 1 day a week. But now with more choices available and more recipes out there, we can actually maybe from 1 day, we can go to 2 days a week. Before that, I think it is a personal choice, right? So it is a thing that is what you feel you can do and can start in a small way. Our next guest is somebody who is really, really a star in his own right. He has style, he has passion for his work, and he is what we call someone with Gaya, Chef Dev Murugaya, and he is someone who is really impressive because he speaks not only English and Malay and Tamil, but also Mandarin. Chef Dev is the founder of the Vegan Journey, Chef Dev Vegan Journey, which is a social enterprise dedicated to improve people's health by making it easy to transit to a plant-based diet. He is the founding member of a plant-based healthy alliance, and Chef Dev is the founder of the Vegan Academy. It is an online cooking academy dedicated to educate and help Malaysian home cooks with knowledge and skills about plant-based cuisine. Chef Dev is a Malaysian celebrity chef in Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. He is a judge in vegetarian chef cooking competition. He has conducted around 60 successful online classes and workshops in 1 year. And he is very popular. He has almost 500,000 followers on social media. His YouTube videos, there are a lot of them. After this, you can Google and find his YouTube videos, have been viewed over 27 million times. And he has a lot of successful projects, including celebrating Malaysian heritage cuisine in March 2021. He was on the Saya Anak Malaysia program on RTM TV2. On the 7th of May in 2021, he was on Mantap Bersama on Astro Awani. On the 19th June and 11th July, he did How to Heal Through Food, The Great Reset. And he was also with Amber Chia in Let's Cook with Mommy. Let us welcome our celebrity chef, Chef Dave. Welcome.
Hi guys, Wanakam, Salam Sejahtera, Tatia How. I'm your vegan chef Dave. So it's really exciting moment, and I really want to thank Christus Aman Women Ministry that are giving me this amazing opportunity. So I'm here today, not only as a chef with you guys, but also as a brother in Christ, that I felt it's really an amazing moment that I can share this piece of message of love and justice through my cooking journey, through my journey of being a vegan in Malaysia with all of you guys today. So it's going to be exciting, and I have been listening to what our sister Mary has been sharing in and out, that I listening while my manager is listening there. So it has been amazing. So I really hope that through this 1 hour section with me, I can share with you guys my journey, and also why I decided to become a vegan. And then I explore myself on a whole food plant-based journey as well. And what are the challenges I'm facing on a daily basis, and how I survive as a Malaysian vegan. You know, so there will be a lot of suggestion out there. I believe, you know, people will give you, you should do this, you should do that. But what is practical for you? And everybody will have different challenges, different journey, different starting point. So here is my story for you guys. Are you guys ready for us to start today? So I would like to have some engagement in the comment section. Don't make it so dull, and don't make it, you know, just Chef Dave is talking to a screen. So if you guys ready, please comment yes. So your comments are indication that you guys are with me here today, yeah? Or else it would be very boring, just Chef Dave is talking, and you guys just looking at me in front of the screen. It won't be that fun, okay? So I believe you guys are, you know, woman of God, so must be someone that really empowered and to be here to change the world. So you are not here this afternoon just to learn another recipe from Chef Dave, or, you know, to listen to another talk, but you are in the plan, bigger plan that going to transform the world with your decision, what you put on your plate, okay? So here you go, why Chef Dave become a vegan after 10 years being a chef on a very popular hotel industry like Shangri-La Group. You know, I used to work with Disney Cruise Line, and I have eaten all the beautiful food around the world that for free. I doesn't have to pay for, enjoy luxurious food that, you know, can get from different part of the world, you know, because working in a hotel, you basically get all you need for free, especially when it comes to food. And I'm a foodie. I love to eat since I was young, and I love to cook. Then what happened? Why out of a sudden this guy decided to go vegan? why, what happened? Yeah, so this is my story. What happened was in 2019, end of the year, I was back from Disney Cruise Line to Malaysia because I have to do a small surgery on my feet. I fall down when I was working, so it's an industrial accident. So when I back and after done my surgery, I was on a medical leave. So all these years I have been working, and out of sudden I was on bed and I can't do anything. My family members is not here with me. I'm in KL, they are in Johor, and I fall into a mild depression. So that's where I started to think a lot of things when I do meditation, when I was praying, a lot of voices start to asking me to find the purpose of my life. So that's where I started to, think about the issue of environmental pollution, what is happening to the world, what kind of world we are preparing for the next generation. These kind of thoughts are actually haunting me for no reason. I don't know why am I care about all these issues. So then I started to, watch some documentaries about environmental issue, about the pollution, because we all know, right? In KL, they banned, like during our last government, they banned using of straws in the restaurants and all that, and the plastic have to charge and all that. And the reaction from community is like some, take it positively because it's going to promote a better green world. Some people couldn't accept the fact, but as a chef that used to work on a cruise, we are very emphasized to don't throw plastic into, with our food, because the food actually, literally, they will blend and put it back to the sea, make it so-called food for the living beings in the sea. But plastic, they can't do that. They have to have a separate segregation. So this kind of awareness is like really keep nurturing us when we are working on a cruise. So when I back working after working on a cruise, so I was start to think a lot of things about what are the pollution happening around the world and what can I do as a follower of Christ, as a human being in this world. We talk about love, we talk about justice, but do our action, do our, lifestyle actually reflect what we are talking about? That's make me to wonder and start to explore on some documentaries. And to my surprise, I was shocked to know that actually one of the leading cause of the world pollution is not plastic. It's not, a lot of things that we think of like transportation or industrialization. It is not the real top reason of environmental issue of greenhouse gases, CO2 gases, but the biggest reason of all this is animal agriculture. So as a chef, I couldn't accept the fact that I found out this truth. I don't believe, I was very skeptical. So I started to find more and more answer online. I started to dig more and more. Why animal agriculture cause pollution? So found out the fact it is, like especially dairy industry, beef industry, produce methane gas, which is the highest leading cause of greenhouse gases, CO2 produced and all that. So then I started to ask like, oh my God, how can I, give up, a nice beef steak, how can I give up cheese, yogurt, which is, comfort food, something that I used to eat since I was young, and, I love eating, and I'm a chef, right? So I love all kind of food, like poultry, you name it, I love it, right? Seafood and everything. But what actually stopped me from the first thing is back then I know nothing about veganism, I know nothing about plant-based, but what actually made me to really stop eating first thing in my life, which is egg, is I bump into a video on Facebook. It shows the entire process, how people produce egg in egg industry. I was shocked to see the male baby chick is grinding alive when they are 2 days old baby. And I was thinking, what sin they have done that they have to go through that in life for the sake of I need to put an egg on my meal. So that's where I stopped taking egg for about a week. And so then I bump into another video. I don't know why this Facebook played this game with me, popping up suggestion, this kind of video to me. I never search about it. I know nothing about veganism, but something just come upon the algorithm. I believe because maybe Google, Facebook detected that I reading a lot about pollution, about all these things. So it just pumped into my wall. So I watched what happening in dairy industry, which really broke my heart to know that, oh my God, this is the reality. But the advertisement that I see on the TV is cows are, happily running here and there in the grassland. But why am I seeing cow being forcefully pregnant every year after year, just in order that they can give birth to a baby and human can take milk from them and they are old, send them to a slaughterhouse and kill just that they can profit, maximize to sell it as a beef, their skin changed to all this purpose. I don't like to picture you about veganism or, plant-based journey, just, only from health perspective, but this is my journey. So I would like to let you see the ethical point of view of this, and I believe everybody are on their journey. I'm not here to judge any one of you guys, and I also hope that you will open your heart and just listen to my story, and at the end of the day, take whatever necessary for you and just leave whatever you feel is not necessary for you. Okay, so that's where I stopped taking dairy as well. But I know nothing about veganism until about another week, and so I started to study more and more about animal agriculture, ethical point of view, what's happening, why people are not taking certain products in their life, in their diet. Then I bumped into another lecture class by an animal rights activist from India. He's Arvind Animal Activist, his YouTube channel. So I saw one of his lecture, 1 hour lectures. Actually, it's about 40-minute lecture. He is talking to a group of medical students, just like how am I standing here and talking to you guys, but it's in live. So he went to the college and talked to them about veganism, why we have to become a vegan. So after listening to that particular message, I felt it is so close to my heart with the value, with the things that I believe in, because like I said, I'm a person who grew up in church since I was in the college. So I was, being nurtured, being grow up with the message of love, message of justice, message of, peace. So I felt like what that guy who is not a Christian, know nothing about, religion or whatever, he's an atheist, but he's talking about a message of peace, a message of restoring shalom between we humankind and animals, and also we humankind with this beautiful world that God has given us temporarily to live, right? So that's where I decided, okay, I'm not gonna take any animal-based products in my life after this. So of course, there's a preparation journey where I already like 2-3 weeks didn't take any eggs in my life, and then I stopped taking dairy, and then now stop taking all the meat items. Here comes the journey struggle. I do struggle at the beginning stage because why? I have been eating all this for the past 28 years. You ask me to give up everything overnight. I'm a human, right? So I do have my temptation because the place that I stay, everything is close by. The favorite KFC is just next door. Just, I think maybe 20 feet away from my condo. I just have to walk. I doesn't even have to start my car. Just opposite, there is 2 McDonald's waiting for me. And just another row of my house, there's one Pizza Hut, and another side is Domino's. All my favorite food. And just came down from my condo, all the mama shop is there. All the fried chicken, mee goreng mama, everything that I love, nasi lemak, all sort of things. So that's the struggle comes that I started to feel frustration, like I can't get what I want. I want to go and order a mee goreng. I worry they will put egg, they will put oyster sauce. I want to, So you ask me, so do you don't have any cravings? I don't know about others, but personally I do. I do feel the temptation. I do feel craving for all this food, but it was just for the maybe 3-4 months. After that, like now, recently when I was having meals with my friend who are having KFC in the same table with me, when I look at it, I don't feel any craving at all. So I felt so touched and also so grateful for God has changed my habit from I really love those food, and now I don't really have those kind of cravings. So I believe it will take time. Yeah, it will take time for you guys to for our body to adjust. So during that particular time when beginning journey, how do I cope with those struggles? So the struggles that I cope with each time when I feel tempted, I want to go and order again, maybe KFC or McDonald's, or I want to eat fish or seafood that I really love. I always ask myself why I started this journey, why I decided I want to be a vegan. So I always tell myself, because I said I want to become a vegan because of love, because of justice. So then I have to hold on to my word. So I want Christ's character reflect in my life. So for that reason, I will keep on this journey. I will run this race until I see his face again. So that's the biggest motivation in my life. Till today, 1 year, 10 months, none of my family members are vegan. None of my friends are vegan. But thank God, like today we have like 500,000 of people who are following our journey, learning a lot of new things. I have nearly 2,600 students in my academy who are actively learning, and thousands of people who become vegan because of my story. So I believe this is an amazing thing that I never ever thought in my life. So because of all these struggles, I want to eat my favorite Malaysian food, Malaysian heritage food like Nyonya Laksa, Asam Laksa, Nasi Lemak, Nasi Kandar, banana leaf, all sort of our food, but in a vegan version. So that's where I started to veganize a lot of Malaysian recipes. And I felt if I'm as a chef struggle to get this kind of food, I believe a lot of people out there who might really want to go vegan, who want to try at least a plant-based diet, but maybe they don't know where to start. So why not I start to share my journey, share my recipe videos. Maybe it will inspire them, give them some idea, be helpful for the community out there. That's how I started to record my videos, post recipes, and today we have more than 150 recipes on our YouTube, on our Facebook, and we constantly doing a lot of live shows, live videos, cooking, masak-masak with my family, with my friends, with my sisters, so that can inspire Malaysians that being vegan is much more easier than you think. A lot of people tell me being vegan is like a sacrifice. I tell them, no, being vegan is not a sacrifice at all, but it's a new joy that I found in my life because I'm fulfilling day and night something that I really believe in. So it's a new joy. Okay, so another thing that as a new vegan, that I struggle is where to find food. Apparently after like 1 month plus after become vegan, then only I realized, because I joined some communities in Malaysia, which are like vegan communities or in Facebook groups. Then I asked people where you guys normally go for makan and all that. Then they suggest me a few apps, which I'm going to share with you guys, like apps like Go Veggie, Happy Cow, Kind Meals. These are the apps on your smartphone. You just have to download these apps, and then you just have to put your location, or actually the apps will detect where you are and will tell you nearby vegetarian and vegan restaurants around you. So it is very convenient, yeah. And actually most of the time I still go to non-vegan or non-vegetarian restaurant for my meals. I just tell the boss, can you make this for me, like without egg, without dairy, and no any animal product. Normally they make for me, like even I go to mama restaurant, I just tell them, and then can you make one veggie fried rice for me, and can you make one mee goreng mama without egg, without oyster sauce, is that possible? Normally they make still nice, I mean still okay, not to say very bad, I mean. So those kind of things is just beginning stage will be a bit tough, but after a while you will be fine. Okay, so I think that's enough story about why my personal journey, my challenges. Now we're going to talk about whole food plant-based. What is difference between vegan, vegetarian, whole food plant-based, and plant-based? Because in my journey, 1 year and 10 months, what happened is last year, roughly about June, so nearly about 1 year to 3 months now, 1 year plus, I focus on another thing in my life, which is whole food plant-based, which specifically to help people to improve their health. When I become vegan, I'm not become vegan because I want to improve my health. I become vegan totally, it's not because of me, but because of the animals, because of the environment, not because of me. It's not about me, it's about them. But after some time, I realized actually not many people welcoming, harsh message or the true fact that ethical reason play an important role. So people love to hear nice message about health, and Malaysian also struggle a lot about health. But my end goal is as long as people eat plant-based, which indirectly will help reduce a lot of issues in this world. So for that reason, we started a social enterprise called Plant-Based Health Alliance with a group of doctors and nutritionists. We curate a set of Malaysian recipes, manuals, and we started to serving Malaysians. And we have done this program of 2 weeks where people have to eat our food and see what happened to their medical result. So in 2 weeks, people see amazing results. So they go for before and after medical checkup, and 2 weeks they eat whole food plant-based, and they seen amazing testimony what happened to their health. And these people turn out to be our repeat customer, continue eating healthy, or they become my student, learn how to cook whole food plant-based, and they started to practice this to improve their family members' health. But it is very tough. Vegan, sub-soy. Whole food plant-based is very tough. I will tell you why, and you will know why. Because we are access to legal drugs. Yeah, please hear me correctly. We are access to legal drugs which are approved by government, approved by Ministry of Health. So those drugs are salt, oil, and sugar. Okay, SOS. Today, whatever you can forget, you can just leave it, but please carry this bag with you, SOS. Salt, oil, sugar, which are legal drugs that approve to humankind that has transformed our life, our body, our health to who we are today. I'm standing in front of you, I'm obese, I'm talking about health with you, because of 28 years in my life, I have done something wrong because of access to these legal drugs. And it will maybe take another 4 to 5 years time to actually detox and make it transform back. So it's a very tough journey. Okay, so without further delay, I'm going to share with you guys what are the differences between vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, and whole food plant-based. I want you guys to hear clearly. Okay, I will just finish this very quick, very short, because sharp 4 o'clock, I want us to start cooking. Okay, while cooking, we will discuss more. Okay, so let's see what are the differences, because people always confuse the meaning and things between all these phrases. Yeah, so we have vegetarian, we have vegan, we have plant-based, we have whole food plant-based. This is a short form, WFPB. Okay, vegetarian, they have different variety of vegetarian as well, but normally vegetarian, they don't take meat, no meat, seafood. Okay, so this item they normally don't take lang, yeah, any flesh or anything, but they are okay with dairy. Dairy are okay. And there are another type of vegetarian, we call it lacto-ovo vegetarian. So what is lacto-ovo vegetarian? People who take dairy and egg as well. Lacto-ovo vegetarian. So they are okay with dairy, they are okay with eggs as well. Okay, so these are vegetarian. Why people become vegetarian? There could be many different reasons, but most probably according to that statistic is because of religious reason. What I'm talking about is in Malaysia, yeah, religious reason, maybe because of health, because of they might feel it's better for environment. It can never be for ethical reason. I will explain to you why. Okay. So these are vegetarian. Here, vegan, what are the things? These parts are similar. They don't take meat, seafood, or any, poultry, daging lah, easily say, benda yang hidup, okay, poultry, whatever, as long as daging, all sort of meat, they don't take. They don't take dairy as well. They don't take dairy. They don't take egg as well. They don't take honey as well. Okay, they don't take honey as well. So basically, they don't take animal-based product and animal byproducts as well. Okay, and another one thing about vegan is it's not about food, but it's also about lifestyle. We don't wear anything made from animal skin. Animal skin, leather, so we don't use leather products like leather shoe belt, or we don't use silk, we don't use wools, all these from animal basically we don't use. So in terms of clothing, easy word is clothing. We also don't support entertainment industry that use animal as a subject or tools, like safari, or some animal shows, or even aquarium, zoo, all this. Basically, as a vegan, we don't support, we don't give our money to such an industry, because we believe animals should be left in where they are belong to and live in freedom, not controlled by human for the sake of human happiness and also human profit, or for the benefit of human. So these are vegan. Besides, we also don't use animal tested personal care products or cosmetic, because all the cosmetic, personal care products are tested on animals so that they are safe to use. But there are many products out there which are animal cruelty-free products, which they are made from natural stuff, chemical-free, so they doesn't have to go and test it on animals. So we also don't use personal care or cosmetic that tested on animals. Personal care of cosmetic, So I hope you guys understand now. We'll see a big picture. Oh, there are huge difference between vegan and vegetarian. It's not only about dairy, or it's about egg or honey. There are a lot more. Okay, now we come to plant-based. Plant-based in terms of diet are similar with vegan. In terms of diet, similar with vegan. But in terms of lifestyle, it has nothing to do here. Okay, nothing to do here. Okay, plant-based is just a diet. It has nothing to do with lifestyle or your whatever. Okay, so it's just a diet. But there are exclusive things about this plant-based, because they are plant-based, not plant-exclusive. So a lot of definition will say that, their diet may be 90 to 95% come from plant, but they can include about 5% or 10%, which are from animal-based products. So maybe they once in a while take dairy, or they eat birthday cake which contain dairy or eggs, or maybe like once a month they will have a chicken or a piece of steak, or whatever. So that's called plant-based. They majorly eat plant, but not 100%. And maybe they will take some honey or whatsoever it is. So what I'm going to tell you guys here is why people go plant-based. In that case, number one reason why people go plant-based is because of health, because they want to improve their health. Second biggest reason is because of environment, because they are people who care about environment, environmental friendly, eco-friendly, eco-warriors, so they go on a plant-based diet. Okay, now here you come. Whole food plant-based is what we want to talk in detail today's section. What is whole food plant-based? Whole food plant-based is a plant-based diet that come in a whole form. So people will go for whole foods. So I will explain to you what is differences between whole food and processed food. Okay, people will go for whole food that are in a plant-based form and very healthy. So healthy is like number one key here. Okay, why? A plant-based diet or vegan diet can take sugar, can take oil, can take processed food. It's okay as long as it's from plant. Okay, I can have like a keropok or chips more which are vegan or plant-based, like Oreo. All these are vegan, but it is not whole food plant-based because it contains a lot of processed food, processed ingredients which are not healthy and not good for our body. Okay, so whole food plant-based, the number one must be whole food, must be healthy, no processed food, yeah? No processed food. Okay, so we're going to come to the part SOS. So SOS is a big thing in our whole food plant-based diet. Salt, oil, sugar. So in a whole food plant-based diet, we need to use low salt, low oil, and no added sugar. If you want sweetness, you have to get from natural form of sweetness, not a processed one. So normally in our kitchen, and what doctor approved that all my participants, like I said, we have 500 testimony of people been through our program. What we practice in our kitchen is per person, only 1/3 teaspoon of salt. So if you are cooking for 3 persons in a family, you only can use 1 teaspoon of salt per meal. Okay? Oil, maximum 1 tablespoon of oil per meal. So if you're cooking for 3 persons, means 3 tablespoons of oil maximum you can use in your food. Why? Because we need to take oil in a whole form. We need good fat in our body, but not processed fat. Okay, so for example, the oil that, for example, I'm holding here is a groundnut oil. We actually need to take groundnut as in a whole form because it contains fiber, it contains a lot of good things for our body. But when we extract, we just take out the oil, we are taking overdose without we realizing, and our body doesn't need this kind of fat. Okay, but we human always try to be smarter than God, try to create all these crazy things, which at the end of the day make us to suffer. Okay, God created groundnut for a reason, come in a shell, come in a nut form, so that you have to chew and you have to eat, you have to crack them open so that you won't eat too much. But we human trying to be smart to process it in a machine, to extract the oil out, and then just pour as much as oil you want in your cooking and then eat and then have a lot of health issues. Yeah? So that's why end up we go back to the hospital and then we pray to God, please heal me, please save me, please help me. But today God, I think, give us opportunity, yeah, to learn how to adjust, and to enjoy the nature form of the food, how he created for us. Okay, so in a short while, I'll share with you guys a simple recipe that you can make at home. This is just a sample. You go to my channel, you get hundreds of recipes out there. You will learn more, but you have to differentiate. They are vegan, they are whole food plant-based. If you really want to learn whole food plant-based, you remember this formula: salt, oil, no added sugar. So what kind of sweetness you can use? You can use date syrup, you can use your date paste, kurma, that Muslim normally eat during Eid. So you just have to soak them and blend them, remove the seed of course, blend them, make into paste and incorporate them in your cooking that needs something sweet. Yeah, so try to avoid using processed food. Whatever comes in a nice packaging, nice bottles, you know, all those are considered processed food. Yeah, so try to eat something that's still in its whole form. That is the key for whole food plant-based cooking. You want to cook vegan food? Nothing hard, just buy your tofu, whatever you can get in the market, your mock meat, your mock meat replacement, whatever, as long as it's from plant, you are set. Okay, you can use all your chili sauce you want, all your vegetarian oyster sauce you want, all the seasoning, whatever, but whole food plant-based, no, only fresh, only whole ingredients. So, okay, let us see this recipe. We start cooking, and then while we cooking, I will share with you guys more about some of other benefit and some of other testimony around the world that how people actually survive with whole food plant-based diet. Okay, so today we're going to make this one pot meal. This is very simple, very easy for people who are like, I'm really busy at work, no time to cook. I want to eat plant-based, but I struggle, I don't know, come on, guys, we all are grown adults. So stop giving excuses that I don't know. Go you YouTube, you will get thousands of recipes there. So if you are someone who cooking at home, you have thousands of recipes that are going to help you how to go to your Grab, Food Panda, or whatever delivery app. Just type the word vegan, vegetarian, you will have hundreds of options for you to choose from. So the question is whether you want or you doesn't want. Okay, let's see what are the items that we need for our one pot meal. Here I have this one pot meal. Actually, you just need 3 ingredients. Only 3 ingredients, yeah, but I'm of course showing you a bit exclusive one so that you can make as a complete meal. The 3 main ingredient is some lentils. You can use any type of lentils, but I use this Mysore dal or red lentil because it's very easy to cook. Maybe it just take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. And some potatoes. I use 1 numbers of potato. So the main 3 ingredients are potato, lentil, and some vegetable stock. Okay, vegetable stock, how to make it? You just have to use, for example, some peel of this carrot, some peel of the celery, whatever vegetable roots that you don't want, just wash it clean, and then just simmer them for about 30 minutes to let all the flavors to release in the liquid, and we use that liquid as a stock. Okay, I know some people will just use seasoning, serbo perasa, ajinomoto. Yeah, you can, but it will become a vegan dish, but not whole food plant-based dish. So that's the differences. Okay, so for this meal, very easy. We just need these 3 items to cook this meal. If you really don't have anything at home, potato, lentil, and vegetable stock, you will get complete nutrient that you need for that particular dish. Yeah? You get your carbs, you get your protein, you get some fiber, you get some minerals, vitamins, whatever it is. Yeah, but of course, to make it more nutritious, to make it more nice to eat, so I have some carrot as well here. So I'm going to add this carrot, potato, and as well as the lentil into this pot. So since it's called one pot, you know, we only use 1 pot and to cook the entire dish. Okay, so here we go. I just washed the lentil. This lentil very easy to cook, so you doesn't have to soak it or anything. Just wash and just put into your pot. Okay. And now just turn on the fire and put this vegetable stock and let them cook for about 15-20 minutes. Should be fine. Okay. So just leave it one side. We don't bother them now. So these are the meals that while cooking, you can do a lot of other things. And in 15-20 minutes, your meals are done. And then you can enjoy your lunch or your dinner or even your breakfast, whatever. You can eat this for all your meals. And you can cook them in a larger batch and put in your chiller. You can eat it if you are someone that not bored to eat the same food over day and day. Okay, if you're someone that boring, then every day you can change something else and cook some other dishes. You want complicated dishes, go to my channel. There will be a lot of recipes waiting for you. Okay, here, what are other vegetable I will include into my 1 pot meal? I have some Holland onion, the white one. I just use half numbers, and I have 1 cup of vegetables, mixture of celery, young baby corn, long beans, some mushrooms, and then I have a handful of you can use bok choy or nai pak or any green vegetables like spinach or anything. Okay, so make sure when you cook whole food plant-based, one thing is eat variety. Eat variety means you eat different types of vegetable across the week. Okay, so when you go to grocery, you want to buy vegetables, buy variety. Means to say, you buy leaf vegetables, you buy green one, you buy yellow one, you buy purple one, you buy red one. So at the end of the day, you will get all the nutrients that you need, all the vitamins, mineral. Yeah, for carbs, of course, they are basically most of the carbs is plant-based, so you doesn't have to worry, you know, all types of potatoes, tubers, you know, rice, you know, buckwheat, noodles, all sort of things. Yeah, and for protein, I believe just now Sister Mary have shared with you guys, and lentil, legume, nuts and seed, mushroom, broccoli, even your brown rice, oats. Yeah, doesn't have to worry about become vegan, you suddenly become weak, you know, you cannot survive. Right. Yeah. All people like, oh, vegan, how to get protein? Huh? Always ask this question. No need to worry, guys. Go and check on daily basis. Are you taking enough protein now? Are you taking enough vitamin A now? Are you taking enough calcium now? Trust me, most people are not eat right even now. No need to talk about after become vegan or vegetarian or plant-based. Only you want to lose all this, yeah? Because when I become vegan, I go and do my blood test. The first thing, that's mean like that blood test is reflect what is my previous diet, right? It's already not good. I never monitor that, you know. Once a year, I do go for medical. Doctor never say major issue. I also don't care lah. But when I really go and study what's happening in my health, right? A lot of issues, you know. So after become vegan now, 1 year, 10 months. Thank God I have lost some weight gradually without a lot of exercise or anything, just because of switch diet. And my cholesterol free now, like gone. Last time I have cholesterol issue. After become vegan, the cholesterol issue have gone. But remember, I become vegan not because of health, but definitely it is an added bonus for you, for the health, for the environment. When you become vegan or when you become a plant-based, definitely it's going to help you. If you can go to this whole food plant-based practice of lifestyle, that is the best ever you can do for yourself, for the world. Even myself, I still here on the way move to whole food plant-based. I'm still struggling to practice whole food plant-based on a daily basis. I still can't do every day, you know, because of the habits that we have, you know, the relationship with us human and food has been so many years. It cannot be just simply changed in just 1 day, 2 day, or 1 year, 2 years. It will take some time. Yeah. Plus, when I started whole food plant-based with a group of doctors and all that, you know, I see amazing result, testimony from my participants, and that encouraged me to try. You know, I can cook, but you want me eat my own food is the biggest issue. So what happened is I try 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. So now basically I can eat about 3 days in a week, whole food plant-based, another 4 days still eating vegan. So gradually increase that until we can definitely move along to a direction where we can totally become whole food plant-based, which is the best for the health. Okay, so we can see our lentil is doing well. But one thing, you will see this thing comes out whenever you cook lentil, this thing. So you can just remove or you can just ignore lah. Okay, you can just remove or just ignore this part. It's just a normal thing when you cook lentil. Okay, so just give a good stir and just make sure once the potato is cooked, means your dish are ready, you can dump in all your vegetables and just let it cook for another 5 minutes, done. Because all these vegetables that are remaining in my plate, those will cook in few seconds. So you doesn't have to cook them too long. What happened to vegetable when you cook too long? You will lose all the nutrients, yeah? Like potato, of course, you have to cook it until cool. You can't eat them raw. So then you have to cook it lah. Like carrot, you can take it raw or you can take it cooked. When you take it raw, you will get different nutrients. When you cook it, you will improve certain nutrients in carrot and also things like tomatoes. Yeah. So all these are a lot of things. I cannot give you all the things just in 1 hour time. So I really hope that we can continue this relationship and you guys also will continuously learn with us as well. Okay, so while it's cooking, I think we have another 5-minute time. Very quickly, I want to share with you guys another beautiful things about this plant-based diet. Yeah, we just forget about vegan, forget about the ethical, forget about vegetarian plant-based, whole food plant-based for a while. Yeah. Just for the sake of some people might be worried, this Chef Dave can trust or not? This Mary can trust or not? Later I eat, anything happen to my health, how? Okay, I just want to affirm you, just want to empower you, give you a beautiful testimony. One thing, if you can spend time, go and study about it, is the China study. Okay. The China study is one of the most comprehensive nutritional study that have ever conducted on planet Earth by T. Colin Campbell. So what they have studied is what happened to human health if we put them on a whole food plant-based diet, and found out people who are eating on a whole food plant-based diet were able to manage their weight, able to reduce their issues in terms of health, and even reverse their disease. So there is no any, because they have tried out different diet that comes with dairy, diet that comes without dairy, diet that comes with animal protein, and they found out the best thing that able to works for humankind is a whole food plant-based diet. Yeah. So why I give suggestion of this study, not some other study, because there is no any other better nutritional studies have ever conducted. This is the biggest study they have conducted in China very long time ago. And until now, the impact of this particular study throughout the world, people are experiencing the beauty of this result. Yeah. So this is not something that random people go and do study. This is a medical and nutritional study. It's a peer-reviewed research. It's a legit one, so you guys can go and study, because there might be some loophole that you want to find out, but who knows, at the end of the day, this might open and inspire you. Another thing is blue zone, okay? You are not into all this, like you don't want to study this, you don't want to bother. Okay, no problem, I give you another option, blue zone. Okay, go to Google. I believe all of you guys are very, use smartphone, you know all this. Go to Google and type blue zone. Blue zone are the few places in this world are categorized people live the longest. And on average, they live the longest, healthier, and better compared to other places around the world. So there are examples like Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya in Costa Rica, and some places in Greece and also California. Why they live longest? When people go and find out why these people live long, now why Malaysian cannot live long, man? Why China people cannot live long? Why India people cannot live long? What problem? Yeah. Then they found out one thing. People in blue zone, their diet, 95% come from plant. So this is a living testimony, not something that Chef Dave created to talk nicely about plant-based diet. I found out all this after I become vegan. Yeah, I didn't study all this before I become vegan. After I become vegan only, and oh, there's such thing like that. Oh, there's such thing like that. Okay, this one also cannot change your heart. You say, I don't care about all this. Like Chef Dave, you talk like whatever you want to talk. Right? Okay. So what happened when you become a whole food plant-based person? What happened? This is the final thing I'm going to give you. Then we will focus on the recipe, and then we will end our section with Q&A. Yeah? When you become a vegan, this is what going to happen to the world. Not to you, to the world. Okay? 1519843 gallons of water, 7450. Even I don't remember all these numbers. Don't go and buy Toto or Magnum, yeah? I know all the numbers are look beautiful. Aunties, I know you guys are crash follower, don't do that. Okay? Okay, give me a few seconds. Okay, you might be thinking, what are all these numbers? Yeah. Okay, so we have water, we have grain, we have square meter forest. We have CO2. We have animals. When you become a vegan or plant-based, what you are doing to this world, you are saving 151 millions of gallons of water per year. You are saving 7,450 kgs of grains, you are saving thousands, over 1,000 square square meter forest. You are saving 3,311 CO2. You are saving 365 animals' life. So it's not funny, guys. Sometimes we think like, become vegan, become plant-based. What am I going to change for the world? But this is the impact. Just because of what we choose to put on our plate, make a huge changes. Okay, now we come back to our cooking. We see what's happening here. So I just want to get a fork and just take, we can see the lentil cooked very nicely. Just about 10-15 minutes it will cook. We poke into potato, cook nicely as well. So now what we're going to do, we don't put the leafy vegetables here first. What I'm going to put all the rest of the vegetable except the leafy one. The leafy one will take just like 2-3 seconds to cook, so I don't want to put it too early. Okay, so just put the rest of them and let them just cook and let the flavors to infuse into it, and it will really taste amazing. Okay, so just leave it. You can make this thicker, you can make this soupy. It's definitely up to you how you want to eat this meal. You can eat with rice, you can eat with noodle, or you can just eat just like that as a meal. Yeah? So I'm going to make it a bit soupy here because it's too thick for me. Okay, so done. We can add a bit of black pepper, salt. Yeah, definitely up to you. If you can go 0 salt, that will be great, but I know it's very difficult. And I'm going to add in some coriander leaves, just to some nice fragrance. So it's optional, or you can even add spring onions. Yeah? No any issue. It's definitely up to you what you want to add. So this one last part, before you close the fire, you're going to add this, and then you will just off the fire lah. Okay, yeah, done. So just give a good stir again. Okay. So guys, before we go to Q&A section and finish up this, I want to share one more last message for you guys. Maybe a lot of people might be asking, Shabdev, there are so many issues in this world, why we are bothering about all these water, square feet of forest, CO2, none of my business. I got so many things to think about, right? Yeah, actually a lot of people also ask me like, there are so many issues. Yeah, I agree, in the world that we are able to sit in a Zoom and having this class, maybe some people are being raped, somewhere people are, die because of hunger, somewhere else people are being killed for no reason, because of cruelty and all that. Yeah, it is very true, there are some places kids don't have food, don't have education. But my question is, what we can do about it? Unless we are someone that have power, have resources, we can go to that particular country who are suffering to find some agents that we can work with them to help them to improve their life. I have to find a lot of money, resources, someone to back me, someone to help me. I need, a lot of things to do, right? So in order to solve that particular issue, or like, issues like human rights or LGBT rights, there's so many things going on in the world. But you know what? About animal life, a life is dying because of cruelty, because of injustice. We can just make a change. We can really do something. Just when we switch to product A to product B from your next meal. It's not something that you just talk about, but you cannot do. You can talk about all the issues happening in the world, just talk. But you cannot do anything unless you really have some powers. But being a vegan, anybody can do anytime from where you are, just by changing what you are putting on your plate for your meal. Okay, so that's it from me. So now this dish is amazing. You can see it's done perfectly. So I'm just going to add in the greens. So don't tell me you don't know how to cook whole food, plant-based or vegan food. It's very easy. Huh? Maybe you all also know a few recipes, like your family recipe pun mungkin dah ada vegan food or vegetarian food without you realizing. So now I just put in the green veg. I don't want to just turn on the fire, but actually you can just cook it for another 2-3 minutes. But it's really hot, so I just want to let it just stay there with the hot, like maybe another 5 minutes, it will completely cook beautifully. Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle all this cilantro in as well to give you a nice flavor. Okay, and you can add in some black pepper, some salt if you want, but because in my vegetable stock just now I already add a bit of salt, so I'm not going to add any salt, but definitely you can add some peppers if you want to make it a little spicy. Yeah, a little spicy, or give you a hint of peppery flavor, and just give a good stir, then your meals are done. Okay, so this is during rainy days, during, you know, you really don't have much mood to cook, but if you cook such a meal and serve your kids, they still will feel your love through this amazing food. Okay, so I think that's all from me. Hope you guys really enjoy the section. As I said, take whatever necessary for you, whichever going to benefit your life, and you believe that it's going to be helpful. And whatever you feel, it's just too much, you can just leave it here.
Yeah, actually, it's perfect for me to tell everyone the reason why we actually have this session is actually because of this season of creation. This season of creation is once a year, all Christians of all denominations come together to pray and to act and to do something for the earth, to return the beauty of the earth. So because of this, our Pope actually launched a Laudato Si platform, which is a 7-year journey for us to do something which is concrete, that we can actually return something for the earth. He said that God has given us a garden. We cannot leave desert for our children. Yeah, and because of that, our Malaysian chapter of this, I can't remember what is it called, the Episcopal something. I will share with you all later on. That's why they came up with reducing meat, reduce dairy, reduce meat, and reduce food wastage. That is the thing that sparked us to invite Mary and Chef Dave for this talk. Yeah, so for this session. It has been a very long afternoon, I think, but a very productive one. Hopefully, we have planted seeds of awareness and seeds of motivation for everyone to at least try whole food or at least plant-based diet. Yeah, because of you know, it's good for health. It avoids animal cruelty, and it's good for the environment. Yeah. Okay, and for all the participants, I have all your email addresses. I will send you all the links to Laudato Si, to Season of Creation, to Chef Dave's channel, as well as things that he has, things like that. I will share all the links so that everybody can continue the journey. Okay?
Thank you, Aida.
Okay.
Thank you, Chef Dave.